Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome to the channel Bookables. Today I am here to do another summer reads video because you guys know, as I say always, I'm very seasonal and I have a lot of seasonal favorites. So today we are going to do some of my young adult favorite summer reads. So let me just preface by saying this. I don't read a lot of young adults anymore. I maybe read a handful. By that I mean like usually 5 or less each year, just because I just kind of feel like I'm growing out of the genre. You know, I'm turning 35 this year, but that doesn't mean I still don't love the genre. Like, I appreciate it. It's what helped me get into reading, what's helped me start my channel, and I really enjoyed it. And with that, I've read a lot of young adult and I have a lot of really great recommendations for summer reads because I love summer reads, both adult romance and YA contemporary, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. Some favorite young adult romance that are just perfect to read in summertime. First up, I have one that I feel like is very perfect to talk about right now, and that is the Summer I Turned Pretty series by Jenny Han. I love my library still has the old original covers. They recently got revamped. I love the covers so much, but if you haven't heard, this is a series I read. Like, I want to say this was honestly one of my first videos I ever did was talking about this series or talking about one of the books. I guess I'll link it. Do I dare? But please keep in mind it was like 7, it was probably like 8 or 9 years ago. It was like 10 years ago. Anyway, this series is all about Belly, who every summer she goes to Cousin's Beach with her mom and her brother, and they go there with their mom's best friend and her 2 sons, and Belly's always been in love with one of the sons, Conrad, and maybe this year he'll notice her, but also she's starting to notice Jeremiah too. So basically this whole series is a big old love triangle. Belly with Conrad, Belly with Jeremiah. You never really know. This also has been adapted to a Amazon Prime series, which I actually enjoy. It's a perfect kind of slice of life YA summer series that I would recommend. The second season just dropped, so I'll definitely be tuning into that. But I really enjoy this series. Would highly recommend. Next up, we got Sarah Dessen's. Sarah Dessen's one of my OG YA loves. Like, Sarah Dessen's was probably my first ever like foray into YA contemporary, and she writes the epitome of YA summer reads. Like, all of her books take place usually in a small beach town, so really you can't do any single wrong with picking one of her books to have a summer read. I picked Along for the Ride, number 1, because the cover, and this one is kind of summery in a way. This is about a character named Auden who has to, I think, live with her dad, if I'm not mistaken. All of her novels do kind of bleed together. I don't know. But either way, she has insomnia, so she's up all night. She meets a guy named Eli who's in town, who lives in town because she's visiting her dad, and it kind of goes from there. It's a great one. Another great one. I'm trying to think of some other great ones of Sarah Dessen that I really love. It's been so long. Lock and Key is a really great one that I really enjoy, and I can't remember anymore. I'll put them up. Next up, we have one that I haven't read yet, but I want to read, The Summer of Broken Rules by K.A. Walther. Everybody's been reading this because they're saying that it's very Taylor Swift reminiscent, which I don't know exactly what that means, but I do plan to read this because, like I said, I like reading YA once in a blue moon, and why not try this one? It's about a character named Meredith who lost her sister Claire, and now she's going to her family vacation in Martha's Vineyard and with her family, and I think a wedding happens, and all I know, it's really cute, so I'm planning to read it this month. Will I? I don't know, because it's quite a long YA contemporary. Yeah, it's like almost 400 pages, which is a long YA contemporary. Next up, we have kind of a short one that's also really kind of sad too in a way. Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. This cover, everything. But this book is so magical, but also just so amazing. It's about these 2 sisters, Georgina and Mary, and they're twins, and they have magic. They're like kind of witches, and they've always like had this ability. But basically, they live in this island by the sea, and like people come to see this bird every year. And I know I'm not explaining it correctly, but it's basically all about these sisters. One of them has the magic, one of them doesn't, and it's like the last summer that she can inherit the magic if she's gonna get the magic that runs in her family. So it's all about sisterhood. It's also got some romance in it, and like I said, it is very short. Katrina Leno writes really short books. This one's like 255 pages, so you can knock it out really quickly, but the whole setting is very summery, and all about it is just very summery. Next up, we have my personal favorite YA summer read, and that is Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. I love Jen Bennett books. Like, they are just, she needs to switch to adult romance, honestly, because I just love them. This was her first one, and it's still my favorite. This cover, Hello Summer, Never Leave. This is all about a character named Bailey who is this classic movie fan. She's on this forum where she talks to this guy that's like kind of her best friend, named Alex, and they talk all the time. But she does not tell Alex that she's actually moving to his hometown. She just keeps that on the DL. So she moves there and she gets the job with this she gets the job at this museum, and there she meets a security guard named Porter, and they kind of have a hate relationship. And basically she has to decide if she wants to tell Alex that she's in his hometown or should she go with this guy named Porter. And it's very obvious what's going on here. It's also got the You Got Mail thing in it, but it is so great. It's like in a beach, like California town. I kept kind of picturing Laguna Beach while reading it, but it is just, it's my favorite summer read. If you want a YA summer read, I highly recommend checking out this one. Next up, we have A Cuban's Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. Another one of my favorites. I adore this one. So this is about a character named Lila who lives in Miami. She loves Miami. She helps run her family's restaurant there. She's really deep in the cuisine and things like that. And then one summer, everything bad happens. Her boyfriend breaks up with her. Her abuela dies. So her parents are like, look, you are obviously like, you know, you've got a lot going on. You're depressed pretty much. They decide to send her to go to her aunt's B&B in London to try to maybe a new scenery would help. And so she goes there and she meets a whole new group of friends. She learns a lot of different cuisine, but also bringing her Miami like kind of flavor of cuisine over there. And there she meets a guy named Orion, and it's a very organic like friends to lovers relationship, but I enjoyed it so much. It's got a great found family aspect, a great friend group, and it's just, I really enjoyed it. I think this one might be adapted soon, which I'm really excited about because the book was so much fun. Okay, guys, I have a lot because I like YA contemporaries. Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian. This one's not one of my favorites, but if you want a summer setting, look no further. This one's set like on an ice cream shop. Like that's like, I mean, how much summery can you get? And it's basically about these two best friends that run it. One's gonna be the boss, and I think like it's also going kind of downhill. The grandnephew of the Stan's founder arrives unexpectedly to take over the business, showing little deference for the girls and their traditions. So it's just so freaking adorable. I can't get over it, but it wasn't the best. But if you want like a summery setting, Ice Cream Stand could not get more summery, in my opinion. Then we have When Dimple Met Rishi by Sinan Menon. When this book came out, I took book 2 by storm because it was different, it was interesting, and I have to say I really enjoy it. She's also made the leap into adult romance books, which is also really fun. So this is literally what the book says. It's about Dimple and Rishi, and they meet. Basically, they have Indian parents that want to set them up together. They don't really want that, but they learn maybe they are kind of falling for each other. It all takes place during their summer they go to some sort of like camp. I want to say it's like a really smart like tech savvy camp, which is awesome. And yeah, it's for aspiring web developers. So it's really cute, really fun. I mean, the cover again, super cute. When she meets him, she pours coffee all over him because, you know, this girl don't need nobody, and I respect that completely. The last book I have is Love and Olives by Jenna Evans Walsh. This is a very fun one if you want to travel. All of her books kind of have to do with traveling. You have Love and Gelato, which is also very summery. It's about a girl that goes to Rome, Italy. I think that's where she goes with her father. I really like this one. It's my favorite of hers, I would say. This one's about a girl named Liv who doesn't think about her father much. She had a really great relationship with her father when she was younger, but then he kind of abandoned her because he's always been on the search for, you guessed it, Atlantis. And then she gets contacted from her dad saying that he found it. And so she decides to go to Greece, where he thinks it is, and she goes to Santorini. She falls in love with Santorini, and she gets to maybe get to be with her dad more, and then the whole appeal of Atlantis. I mean, like Greece, summer, Atlantis, like so summery, so fun. It's got a lot of great romance in it, a lot of great father-daughter relationships in it. I really enjoy it. We also have some standbys that I don't have that maybe I'll mention. The Sisterhood of Traveling Pants by Anne Brashears, another one of my OG loves. Like I read those way before, like I'm talking back when they had the old covers with the pair of jeans on them. I love that series. Love that series. The movie adaptations are not that bad either. I'll say that. But if you want a great summer romance, if you want a great summer read with about friends, Sisters of the Traveling Pants cannot do you wrong. It's amazing. Also, literally any Casey West book. pick one. They're all very summery. I would say my favorite's probably Listen to Your Heart by her. That's very summery. It takes place like on a lakeside. That's really great. And the last one, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is one that doesn't take place technically in the summer, but it's just so cute. It's just so cute and sweet that I have to recommend it. And I really do enjoy both her YA books and her adult romance books. It's about a girl that learns that like a boy she really liked is moving back in town. So she's like, I gotta get his attention. And then her kind of annoying neighbor, I wanna say his name's Wes, decides to help her. And so they kind of scheme to like get him to notice her. Every chapter header like has a quote from a movie, like a rom-com, like 10 Things I Hate About You, When Harry Met Sally. I mean, reel me in, why don't you? But either way, those are some amazing YA summer reads that you definitely need to check out. Like I said, young adult contemporary will always have a special place in my heart because I love it so dearly, and I love the summer vibes in it as well. So I hope you check some of these out. If you want a quick kind of escape from reality with a fun time, these will do you no wrong. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.